Welcome everybody to the Dr. Jane Mackenzie 365 Healthier by Choice celebration of the wonderful testimonies and case studies of 2024. Thank you for coming and thank you for signing in. We're in for a real treat, and there are thousands of testimonies and case studies. I've selected a few which are going to represent many of you. And as I've evolved and raised my consciousness, so have you, and as you've raised your consciousness and evolved, so have I. So none of this would have happened without a collective contribution, a unified, inclusive contribution from all of us. And it really is history in the making, because many of us come from a reductive background that's, symptom-based, diagnosis-based, and not really orientated to long-term sustainable health. And I can speak from my pharmaceutical background there as well. But today we're celebrating and we're honoring all your contributions and your trust in yourself, your trust in your body's innate potential to heal, your trust in the intelligence of nature to heal, and get yourself to a point where there's physical purification leading to emotional purification. It doesn't always happen in those that order, but it can happen simultaneously as well, because as we lighten the physical load, we can also then put the windscreen wipers on and see a little bit through. Our brain can work a little bit clearer, and we can see obstacles that we thought were in the way. So we work with challenges as opposed to obstacles, and we start resolving them. I just hope everyone can hear me, but it is recording now. All right. So today we're looking at case studies. I've broken it up into various sections of the 365 Healthy by Choice Center, and I'm going to go through them sequentially. One of the questions I get, which I just want to share with you up front, is how did I get here? How did we get to where we are? And we're all born with our purpose. We know before we come why we're coming. We kind of tend to forget about it. We tend to take the sad route instead of the happy route. And we kind of think we're not equipped enough. We don't have abundance. Meantime, we're born with all of that. We just got knocked along the way. And those mental constructs that we developed based on life experiences, plus inherited life experiences from our mom and our dad and our granny and our grandpa, became blurred. And we decided, because of this, that happens. Because of this, men do that, women do that. And we then live that, and it becomes our experiential reality, which is not truth. The truth is existing in the existential field, the Akashic record field, the morphogenic field, the universal field of wisdom, the God field, if you like. So this is where we focus, and this is where true holistic quantum health and well-being exists. That's where we get our knowledge from. I think we're a bit done with working with the three-dimensional worldly space, because we need to ask ourselves, has it helped us? Has it helped us cope? Are we where we need to be? The answer to that is we are where we need to be, but where are we going from here? And I think my big quest in life is, good, thanks for the feedback, is, choosing pharmacy. I was always in nature as a child already anyway, very observant of the plants and the birds and things, and which led me to enroll for the pharmacy degree at Rhodes University. And I kept looking for the plants, the nature, the seeds, the leaves, the teas, and right at the end, in the last term of 4 years, we looked at the seeds and the pods and the leaves and the medicinal properties. And that was where I really came into myself into the degree, because up until then, the degree had been about molecular interactions, based on treating symptoms and on a diagnosis. And too many times I sat in the lectures writing down a disease of unknown etiology. That means unknown cause. And to someone like me who was just sort of randomly, experiencing life, I knew that that wasn't true. I knew there was a cure. I knew there was another way. And I went through the degree. I'm very grateful because from a physiological point of view, I understand the body parts, the anatomy, and, the systems. So that's very good basic background in any event. And I was also understood the rats and the frogs and so on. But anyway, what I did know was that there had to be another way. And I knew there was patience. It didn't have to happen right away. And I qualified. I worked in industry, and we made synthetic medicines out of white powders that were copied from nature, with loads of side effects. For example, the valerian plant from which they made Valium, they extracted the active ingredient out and copied it and presented it to the world only in small amounts. It's now addictive, and be careful. 6 months to withdraw off it, etc., etc. But the valerian plant itself, in the atoms, the molecules, the energetic multi-dimensional form that it's in, knows exactly how to work in the body. And the body's innate wisdom to heal knows exactly what to do with the valerian plant. Even if it's ground up and powdered root, that's exactly what the body does. It knows how to deal with it. Very subtle energy, non-addictive. So I was working with all this, these powders. We were making Schedule 5 psychotropic medication that were putting people to sleep because they couldn't cope with their emotional problems, anxiety, stress, depression, suicide. We were making synthetic vitamin C. And I was looking this and thinking to myself, well, what happened to the oranges and the strawberries and the berries and things? And again, my soul just wasn't sitting properly. I then went into marketing and sales, and I found it the biggest farce ever, because there I was writing notes for representatives to appear in front of doctors and health practitioners, telling them how wonderful the medication was for the mind, how it was going to shift their depression. It was quite sad for me again, because I knew it just wasn't a cure. And when I studied at Rhodes, I worked in the pharmacies for 2 years, and I saw the prescriptions getting longer. I saw the people not managed, staying the same or declining. And, I looked at this, and it was again discord. And there was no real joy happening there. There was no real happiness. There was stuckness. So after the whole incident in the pharmaceutical industry, I then did my MBA in order to leave and look in on anything that was going to help me with my career, where I was going, my purpose. And in ending up, I just turned 35. I had my first child, my daughter, and followed by 5 years later with my son. And I realized instantly with her that there was responsibility, and I had to look at nature. And I had one chance with her, and I was going to raise her body physiologically, emotionally, as best as I could. I wanted to just say, before I had her, I did a full 10-day water fast, and the heavy metals came out, lots of the toxins left, which I was happy that I wasn't transferring onto her. So at that stage, I was aware of the physical transfer to children. I wasn't aware of the legacy, the inherited emotions that can get transferred, which I'm very aware of now. I'll speak in a moment about that. So that then, as I said, led me straight back into the natural field of health. And I did lots of courses there. My children, I was lucky enough to be in the sun, using water, the earth, the soil, the fire, and to play in nature, and to play with them, and to listen to them and learn with them. So I learned a lot from the children, and the diseases that they got. I mean, obviously in hindsight now, looking back, it would have been very different, because I would be armed with so much, but nobody gives you your book. There's no book to read. You kind of writing your book as you're living. And those of you all know what I'm talking about. It's always easy in hindsight. However, got me to the stage now where I've consulted to thousands of people, done the doctorates, a multidimensional holistic well-being framework that I'm able to present to the world honorably, including all the information that I know, all the background, not mistakes, all the experiences, and coming from that, and gratitude for all the lessons I've learned from that, enabled me to present this framework. The holistic integrated epigenetic life orientation reset, and that's from the system from which I'm speaking today to share the testimonies and case studies. How did I get here? I decided way back then in the pharmacy class that this was not for me. This was not going to bring the cure I needed. There was discord, and having said that, the universe stepped in and opened the doors for me, and that's what I want to share with you as well. It's no use trying to cope with something that's not serving you. Make that decision. This is no longer serving me. I need to look elsewhere. There must be another way. The minute you do that, the universe comes in and shows you. It's literally sometimes as quick as a heartbeat. How did the water diviner know and enable himself to be able to see where the water is? Instead of using north, south, and pacing and all the rest of it and rods, he'll use the rods to double confirm. But he can see the water because he asked. What he was doing, he said, I'm not 100% satisfied with my north-south exercises that I'm doing. I need a better way. There was a client that came in that was getting 50 liters an hour, which is not even a shower of water. And he sat at the gate and he asked for a better way. And as they were walking around the farm, he looked up on the hill and he saw in his mind's eye light at the top of the hill. And he said, there's water there. And the farmer said, well, we're never going to get up there. And he said, are you sure? And they walked round and there was a plateau. They took the car through the next door farmer's farm, got up to the top, and there was 2,000 liters an hour. So he wouldn't have got there if he hadn't definitively decided what I'm doing is no longer serving me. I need a better way. And that's what I'm sharing with you. We've got to get to that point where we give up what's not serving us. Clear the way, put the windscreen wipers on and start looking through. And it's not a big deal. It's not it's not actually stressful. For some people, it's giving up their medication, which they've been indoctrinated to. And I mean, there's cases in point where people, don't give up their medication. The ulcers come, into hospital, and the story goes on. 7 weeks later, they're coming out of ICU because of. So we've got to make that definitive decision. The people that come to me have made that decision most often. Jane, I've been there, I've done this, I'm still stuck, I'm not coping. It's been like this for 20 years. And I'll hear the stories and the blame and everything. And it's not about that either. It's not about blaming yourself as well. Why did it take me so long? That's your journey. And there's no time frame here. We're working in the quantum field, the universal field. And that field has patience. And it allows us to learn those lessons. And I was speaking earlier, my hairdresser, who I've been going to for the odd 15, 17 years. And every time I go there, I share a little bit. And we talk a little bit about it. And his mind's always not completely listening to me. But I was flabbergasted this week. I walked in. And I said my sort of usual, and we talked a little bit about respect or something, and he just launched into repeating back to me what we talked about over the last 15 years. And what a celebration. And he had the passion that I have. And I just thought, wow, what an imprint. And he'd woken up, he'd put the windscreen wipers on, and he saw through. And that's what we're looking for. Not every horse is going to drink the minute you tell them. And we can't be knocking on their doors all the time. You can take a horse to water and you leave it. I always say no regrets. So you tell people there's an opportunity here. They take it or they don't. Maybe it's not the right time. You have to sit back and wait. And I can tell you that not everybody succeeds immediately. Some of them like to not cope for a little bit longer. And that's usually due to their indoctrination about the medications. I can't get off my medication. That's just nonsense. I've taken hundreds of people off their medication like that as well. When you've got oxygen supporting you and you detoxify the side effects. I'm just saying. But I know that. Some people are reluctant to give that up, and that's wasting their time in a sense. So the people that come to me, most of them have realized there's a better way, and they come asking for it. They're ready for it, is what I'm wanting to say. So it reminds me of a lady who came in distraught, anxious, not happy, I could see, and she sits down and she tells me, I'm stuck. I've not coped. I'm getting worse at this. I'm now on 2 medications. I'm on an anti-epileptic medication. I don't have seizures or anything, but I'm on that because the doctor told me to take that. I'm on a Concerta Ritalin type product to help me focus because I can't focus anymore. There's something wrong. I'm stuck. And we talk, and this is the holistic ancestral orientation, the emotional purification that we get within the HIELO reset system. So I'm jumping into the end result because this emotional space is most often overlooked, because I don't honestly believe people really understand how to work in the universal field with this. So you will be put into one of the 4 quadrants, working in the 3rd dimensional experiential world, instead of going into the existential universal field of wisdom from where I work. So I'm hearing her, and I'm hearing her objectively tell me she's anxious, she's upset, she's distraught, and the anxious is moving to sadness, and it's literally moving to depression. And she said the next medication they told me is going to be an antidepressant. So Jane, let's do something. So fine, we've understood objectively what's going on. We know subjectively that she's sad, and it's leading to depression. We understand all of that. My inquiry goes into her when she felt like that before, I'm trying to get to the origin, when she first felt like that. And she explains the memory to me. We go back further into mom and dad and granny and grandpa, and we're finding the real origin of it all. And without going into her personal details, but there was, displacement, house displacement, business displacement, family displacement, fear, there were wars, and we've all experienced it because we're all in the universal field. Our DNA knows all of this. So every one of us can relate to what someone is speaking to us. In any case, we go through all of this, and we find the place of peace, of surrender, of joy, of happiness, of freedom. And she feels that and immediately relaxes. And I'm short-circuiting this, but we come back and we hand the memories back via her mom and her dad. The memories that are no longer hers, that are no longer serving, that are getting in the way of her coping with life, that have blocked her epigenetically. So epigenetics is above genetics. Epigenetics will dictate to the genes what happens. They cause the shift in the genes. They will, if the big shock of, let's say, a drowning in the mother's life is transferred, and who's diabetic, is transferred to the child will also have diabetes, because by now it's an imprint in the genetic code. So when we born, when we conceived, the blood transfers over, the DNA transfers over, and so do the molecules of emotion. And this is the trick, and this is where we have to find the simplicity and hand back what's not ours. Once we do that, we've erased the memory. We are in a scalar wave. It's not a linear wave where you throw a pebble in the pond and eventually it peters out. A scalar wave, I'm the core of the apple, and I've got a round apple around me. That is a scalar wave. And in my doctorate and in the handbook that I'm going to be writing, you go through the process many, many, many times. And it's never ending, because our health is not a destiny, it's a journey. And getting back to her, we're coming back now, this particular dis-ease period of disorder. And we're handing those memories back. They're no longer hers. She's felt the peace, she's felt the freedom, it's in her, she's alchemically shifted. And she sits down and she says, what was that? How did that happen? Where? Who? What did you do, Jane? And I did nothing. She did the self-transformation. We just entered the field. And the field got the script, not me. So we work with what is there, and we see what we need to see, and we come back equipped with a much greater awareness and a much higher level of consciousness. And that's what this is all about. Self-discovery, where you've done it yourself and you felt it. So there's many ways to get here. The fact here is that this lady walked out beaming. The memory was erased, alchemically gone. We didn't have to do anything. There's no going back there. Scalar wave is fixed, it's done. All right, you can incur further problems yourself if you want to. You can add your own layers on, distorted layers, but this one, that memory is erased, and that's what I love about this. It's like when we've cleaned the liver, we've cleaned it for now. We've erased the memories for now, but until the next period of dis-ease or disorder comes up, and it can be tomorrow, it can be in 2 years' time, but I'm always here. So what I'm setting up here at 365 Healthy by Choice Center is a sanctuary where people can come and actually unravel what's not theirs anymore. Learn the lesson, become aware and raise their consciousness, and erase the memories, the data that no longer serves them. And that's about emptying out the memory, the memories, all the data that's circulating. So personally, I've probably done into 60 to 70 of these, and not a week goes by where I'm not clearing something. And I just thank whatever provokes me to shift, whether it's a client, whether it's an incident on a telephone or driving or wherever it might be, because I think my sort of endeavors are to clear as much as I can before I go. And I'm so grateful. You see, I put it out there. How am I going to do this? And it came to me. What I know is not serving me, and it came to me. Almost gold, typical example. How am I going to get a substance that's got the frequency of gold that we can consume, that's going to raise our body frequency and our consciousness like that? And the teacher taught me how to make almost gold, for example, the right probiotics. So the 365 Healthy by Choice range of nutrients is a toolkit whereby we can support naturally with nature nutrients that are in the quantum field that can support the innate body's potential to heal. And that's what this is all about. Working in the quantum field, working with the valerian powder as it is in nature, not distorting it, not extracting it, not freezing it, not patenting it. You can't patent nature, and allowing nature to come in and do the work. Because when you're taking a powder of a plant that's in the existential field, the quantum field, it works emotionally as well. When you reduce it to the 3-dimensional space or 2-dimensional space, it's only going to work physically. So I'm really hoping that I'm impressing upon you the importance of inclusion and holism. That's how we get the healing. And I'm the facilitator, you are the healer. Physician, heal yourself. And I will advise and educate you. And this is the beauty of this. The responsibility is yours. Own it. If you've created MS, let's talk about a client with MS, right? Symptoms again, pain, inflammation, can't sleep, desire, sadness, anger. So we've got symptoms objectively, we've got subjective phenomena as well, and we trace it back to childhood. At the age of 5, dad left, and the age of grade 2, the muscles started. The contraction of the muscles was already at the age of age 5. The muscles started contracting, so did the nerves, and the blood never flowed properly, and it just got progressively worse. So today she's 35, and it's very difficult to stand up, to walk. She does have a child, and she's got problems. She's not coping at all, and it's everyone else's fault, even mine, even my fault. And Anyway, it was a breakthrough, but I had to assist her get into this quantum field. I had to tell her it was okay that her mental brain could go out of the room. So what I did was I logically fed the mental brain. And I said, logically, we have experiences, we form a construct, we live with that construct. Men leave you. That was the construct when her father left her. And that resonated with her for the rest of her life and just tightened the muscles every single time. So that she believed that. That is experiential. That is not a true reality, because not all men leave you, right? I'm just using this as an example for her, this case study. And so I told her mental brain that we fill it with clutter. We can't, there's a lot of self-doubt there. We can't make decisions with it. It's full of data. The screen is blurred, and we need to now have a look and see underneath this, moving into the heart and the gut, what was happening on. She was able to then close that mental brain off and work into the field just like that. She entered like that. And the process was absolutely incredible. It was enlightening. We actually rebirthed her. And she came in, she recognized that she was whole before she came in, completely whole on every level. She realized all the abundances. She realized, she knew why she was coming at the conception. Cannot happen without unconditional love between the two parents. So what she had done was she'd blamed herself for her parents separating. So I had to reconnect all of this and wipe out that old memory, because it wasn't her fault. It wasn't even her business. And through the rebirth, through the conception and moving in gestation week up to, let's say, I'm short-circuiting it a bit, but week 9 in gestation, as happy as anything, born as happy as anything. I said, do you feel you know your purpose? She said, yes. We stepped into the space, the life that she actually set up for herself, and purposeful. We went back to mom and dad, and we gave the memories back as well that were no longer hers. The freedom, the joy, the happiness, the relaxation. She just breathed the life force, the love, the unconditional love into every single cell, molecule, atom, electron in her body. And the love was palpable. I could see it. This was telephonic, by the way. In my mind's eye, I could see exactly how she was relaxed and sitting there. And she also just said to me, how, Jane? And I said to her, what a lot of courage you've had. Because at the outset, I said to her, how have you coped with your life? And she said, very badly. And she said, I'm very, very unhappy. So can you see how in less than an hour, we can erase that memory? That data's gone. Unable to bring it back. It's just not there. And her sphere of awareness increases and her consciousness increases. So we want to commend her courage to, expand herself to get to the point of clearing this and clearing her dis-ease. So the dis-ease represented, or the disorder represented by the body, or the neurological disorder is a symptom. The cancer is a symptom. The inflammation, the chronic inflammation, the autoimmune, call it what you like. Diagnose it however you want. I'm not in that field. But that is the body calling you to shift emotionally. So the holistic ancestral orientation is underneath that. I hope I've given you 2 very clear case studies of how we can shift. There's another one, and I'm going to lead on to it because it's a very, very, very big one. So the gentleman came to me, a religious background, and absolutely itching. He could not stop itching. He had this acid burn pain and itch coming out of his skin. His skin was like a snake. It had absolutely peeled. I put him on the machine straight away. Now moving to the physical assessment. I'll get to his emotional assessment as well. And he was literally in cardiac failure, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, lung failure, kidney failure, liver failure, and the skin, being the last organ, was trying to detox. The gut was disordered as well, constipated, blocked, and the poor skin was trying to get rid of all the toxins, and the acid was burning on his body. And I looked at this. He was calling everybody a clown, an idiot, shouting at his wife. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, where are we going to go from here? And again, drawing my insights and input from the field, we put him on a detox. I could be only very gentle with him because his battery was not charged. He was in severe chronic adrenal fatigue. And there you can't just detox the physical so quickly, because you have to wait. You can detox and wait for the body's energy to catch up, detox. So it's a process. And I can honestly say that I'm going to share with you where we are in 8 weeks' time. I worked with him. We did the HIELO process as well. He surrendered. He saw himself. He saw what he was doing. He understood why. He left home at 16, and there's a whole long story situated with that. Rejection, abandonment. The career he took was to go and rescue rejected and abandoned people. He took it on. He even started breathing for these people, because at one stage I said to him, who are you breathing for? Because such a chronic state of the lungs, and he got it. He knew exactly what I was saying. And I said to him, you also never protected yourself from a disease a perspective and an emotional perspective when you were doing all this work with people to heal them. Your approach was correct, but you took it all on, not his business. So he really multiplied it all. Once we'd given it back, erased the memories, come back to a peace, surrendered position, he could hear more about what I was telling him to do. And you know what? He followed. And he was his own healer. And I'm going to share with you that on yesterday, we did his assessment, not only the live blood. When we did the live blood the first time, it was absolutely shocking, absolutely stuck, not moving, chock-a-block with toxins, parasites, fat, oil, and they've changed the nutrition. He's changed his lifestyle. He doesn't use the language he used to use. He's actually in the space he's always wanted to be in, the universal field of existence. And the kidneys recovered. The urine is pouring out, and it wasn't. It was blocked. The lungs, when I looked on the microscope, the mycoplasma is gone, the parasites have gone, and I showed him, because I also rubbed the screen a little bit, that all the terrible parasites that were floating down have gone. There's some small little bacteria left. The heart and the circulation, the blood pressure is normalized, the blood's thin, the vessels have cleared, the gut is absolutely normalized, the uric acid is 100% neutral. We've neutralized that acidic. The itches on his skin are hardly. I've got pictures to show on another occasion of the hands, the arms, the ankles, the face, the neck. And it's virtually, there's no itch anymore. The pH is 7.4 of his blood. What an achievement in 8 weeks, considering, he was knocking on death's doorstep. There's absolutely no question about that in my mind. But I made it very clear from the beginning, I wasn't going to rescue him. I wasn't going to heal him. I would work with him, his body's innate ability to heal, his capacity to heal, and let's see what happens. No time frame, no expectations. And I just had a very willing client that took the bull by the horns and went for it. And there were times, terrible times, when he was in severe pain, severe burning itch, The kidneys weren't working. And we just trusted. We trusted the innate ability of the body, the intelligence of the nature of the 365 healthy byproducts. He took the Ormus Gold, he took the microbiome reset, he took the cell oxygen, he took the DMSO, he took zeolite, gallbladder flushes. We're talking about a man who's 72. We're not talking about a youngster. And the skin was flaking all over the floor. It was so bad. We did our intravenous oxygen maximizer drips. So we brought in nature and we trusted, and he trusted. And he's learned so much about himself. It's a new person sitting here in front of me, and we've erased the past data. We've erased he's breathing for himself now. He's living for himself. And far easier and more equipped to share with others and heal others as a result, because his awareness is raised, his consciousness is raised, and he's able to do it as a true healer, not as somebody who wants to fix someone. That doesn't work anymore. Never worked, actually. So we really want to commend him, moving from stuck to freedom. Same as the lady with MS, from stuck to freedom. The lady with that I came in that wasn't coping, the first example, stuck to freedom. So you can see it's like a wheel that I pull in what I need to pull in when. And it's the kind of the conversation, but the big trick is me getting into their shoes. So I can feel what they're feeling, you see, and I can hear and I can sense. And that's what we do with the 365 Healthy by Choice Center. And we're setting it up as a sanctuary where people can come and learn how to do this work, the physical assessment and the emotional release, and people who can come and unwind and do the reset, the HIELO reset. And that's in my doctorate, and it will be in the handbook. So that's another fantastic, fantastic one. And what a pleasure. What a pleasure. The relief on his family's face. They came, they saw the results. I was flabbergasted. This was history in the making, all of them. And this is our honor, me honoring all of you and honoring the contribution you've made to holistic health and well-being. That's what this is all about today. And in a sense, demonstrating to the world what can happen and how it should be, without ego. So that's a very, very good one. Other people come. Jane, I've got 600 Rand. I've got enough to pay for your consultation. Please do the quantum assessment for me. I do it, we discuss, we talk for the hour, which is conversation, but it's raising awareness. I'm asking questions all the time so people can get deeper and deeper into the field of awareness, field of consciousness. And she took the one product, the cell oxygen, the cell vitality, and transformed herself in 1 month to such an extent that her psychologist came to see me. And she wanted what this girl had. She said, I'm flabbergasted. I cannot believe what happened in 1 month. So it's not about how much you spend. It's not about that bottle. It's going to clean your gallbladder. I mean, it helps a lot, okay. But it's about your willingness to shift. You've bottomed out. You've realized that what you thought, what you thought was right, your belief, your mental construct is not serving you anymore. And you've said, like I said in the pharmacy class, there's another way. This is not for me. When she said this is not for me, she arrived at my doorstep. The universe showed her the way, and she took it and she ran. And she knew what to do. There was no doubt in her mind. All right, so she was spending roughly 2,000 Rand. To such an extent that her psychologist came, and the psychologist sends people to me too. That is history. That is commendable. That is, I just think, astounding. And I present that with gratitude, humility, and I honor her. And she sent many, many people. And she looks completely different, and her conversation is completely different. You know, when people come and see me for the first time, sometimes it's a bit hectic because the edges are rough, you know, and the blame and the accusations, and they know it all. I'll tell you what one of my best is when they tell me they've been everywhere. And they've done everything. So this brings me to another lady I want to speak to you about. I met her at one of the stores, a lovely lady, and her son sat down and they did the 5-minute assessment, and she said, I'm coming to do that HIELO work with you, the holistic ancestral orientation, because she saw, and I talked about organs, and I said to her, there's sadness here, there's the lungs, what's happening? And I let her work it through, and she said, I need to send my sons as well. Anyway, long story short, she comes in, she's 39, but she looks about 25. Lovely long hair, no makeup, beautiful, look very young looking, almost like she could be her son's sister. Sits down, she tells me she's done so much, she's really looked at things, inside out, and she calls it, but her biggest fear is her children. Something's going to happen to them. So where is this coming from? It's going to come from a previous experience of her own, and epigenetically from the family. We unravel all of this. Well, a story that it was absolutely shocking to me. This is someone who's just done it all, been everywhere. In other words, telling me, there's no more layers of the onion. She's fine. Anyway, long story short, we found the origin of this fear, and then found our place of peace. And she slipped into the quantum field just beautifully and quickly, and she found her own authentic self, can I put it that way, and filled herself up as she was before conception, as she's always been, as she will always be. So for her it was beautiful, because she basically filled in the gaps that she thought weren't there, gave the memories back to her mom and her dad, which clears the whole lineage, and achieved the peace, the freedom, the joy, the happiness. When we started, her hands were hanging downwards, but the one arm was up. The elbow was, hands were hanging straight, obviously, but they were different lengths. When she finished, they were in perfect symmetry. Her whole body was in perfect symmetry. And she started laughing, and she said, I can't believe I've done this. I can't believe that I made all these assumptions and I made these constructs. She didn't use that word, but she said, I can't believe that I believed what I believed. And she then sat down and she said to me, how did you do that? So I said, I didn't do anything. I said, you did it. She said, but how? We call it HIELO, as it happens, it's called HIELO, right? So she was absolutely blown away and peaceful. And I explained again, your sphere's enlarging. You've erased the memory. The dot is gone, no longer accessible. And now her intense anxiety towards her children is going to be less, and those children will be freer. So next week, we're doing her children, but we don't do the children because it's too much for the children. So she will do her children. So through her, she will step in her children's shoes. The one child has got such severe asthma that those asthma attacks, and even up to the age of 17. So you can imagine. And anyway, there's a lot of story to this. There's aborted children. There's all sorts of stuff going on. Her mother was killed by her father. So you see, nothing simple. But those that say to me, I'm coming, their gut feeling, the universe has said to them, go, because they know what they're doing. They're not coping, and there's another way. And we meet them coincidentally at stores, at centers. People refer them, and they come and they do it. So that's a beautiful, beautiful presentation, and we honor her courage, all of them, their courage to go there. Then you know, there's many. I think the biggest thing is for the biggest success are those people who follow. The people who follow. And that you can go into autopilot, by the way. You can follow consciously, and you can go into autopilot. It doesn't matter. The more unsophisticated you are, the quicker you heal. Can you imagine? Because the more sophisticated we are, the more we are in the ego, the more we are in the Western framework, the ego, get fixed quick. And the more we're in the left brain, which I've just explained, the more questioning I get. And the more the brain constructs come into play. So the more balanced you are between left and right brain, your logic, your creativity, the much easier it is to move through. Everybody moves through. The people that don't move through are the ones that were sent and weren't ready and didn't take the cleansing stuff, for example. Okay, right, I've never had one person that we've done a HIELO and it hasn't worked and they haven't wanted to do it. They come, they know. So I'm just saying that we're working with consciousness, we're working with awareness. And the more people, the better. So similarly, the cancer people, the degeneration people, they do the work themselves. I'm not the healer. I don't cure cancer. People heal themselves. We bring the nutrients that the body needs, the detoxification products to the body. We cleanse. We look on the live blood. We look on the quantum machines. We look for root causes. We clear what we can. And then move into the holistic, infinite field of wisdom. And I always say to people, and I'm saying it again now, what the body presents are the symptoms. They will lead to the cause, but they're not the solution. So put the degeneration over there. Put the fear over there. Put my mom left me when I was 4 over there. Let's deal with the real realities, those memories that need to shift. Similarly with prostate, that I was referring to the breast cancer stories. Just before I go to the prostate, the other lady, some people come when they've been everywhere, they've spent a lot of money, and this particular lady, the breasts were absolutely septic. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And literally, she had a couple of days left. She came to me, she was already asked to go for palliative assistance. Anyway, my role there was to obviously alleviate the symptoms as far as possible with oxygen and our drips and so on, but to work with her consciousness, to raise her awareness. And the stories that came out, and the mutilation and the father and all of that, she was holding this her whole life. The cancer was a representation. The breast mutilation was basically the representation of her memories. And we did the work, and the family were there. And I just want to share this with you, because her brother told me. She got in the car and she said to her brother, I can now die happily. And that to me is a massive mission accomplished. Dying freely and happily. So that sometimes happens because people come very late. They find out about me very, very late. There's another man, and I think this will be the last one for today. And this man, successful man, also had his religion, ate well, lived well, successful, always on the go, wife, family, etc. Suddenly, out of the blue, nervous breakdown. But such a nervous breakdown that he can't even speak, can't even walk, shut down. People are likening it to Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and dementia and all of this. It's not that. Total adrenal fatigue, adrenal shutdown, battery flat. So he comes to me, can hardly walk, getting out of the car. We assist him inside, we put him on the bed, but by now he's already dribbled all the way across my carpet because he's got no control over anything. And I start working with him with the Epic Skio devices, seeing what's happening, speaking to the wife, understanding this. She keeps telling me, so they're putting him on this for dementia and this for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and all of this. And I said, wait, let's just see. Anyway, so we worked through him, and the whole time I was getting the feedback, because the apex gear connects to their subconscious and gives me direct information from the quantum field. So I can do it with the how work, and we can do it with the quantum skier too. Some people like that. Anyway, and I'm just getting neurological breakdown, adrenal fatigue, because the adrenaline will pump for so long and then it stops. And that's when you get the breakdown. So it was flat. The oxygen was barely above 50. The brain function was under 50. The brain waves, love, the neurotransmitters, the strength of the brain. Hydration was poor. The parasites were through the roof. They had just taken over. This is about 2.5 years down the line, by the way, when he walks in. No eye contact, no speaking, falling asleep, not even functioning, non-functioning. And we worked and we worked. I used his wife the one day. She got in his shoes. We did the how shoes, not figuratively. We did a how process. She was the surrogate, if you like. And we went to the Angola war, where there were terrorists, bombs, and we don't exactly know what happened. But this man would sit on my quantum med bed, if you like, and he'd look out the window and he'd say, the danger's out there. The enemy's out there. This is the kind of, when he did speak, he would, so that's why I knew he was riddled. And he held us and he held us and he held us, and it was a catalyst to work hard and be successful and do all these things. But at the end of the day, it got the better of him. And now we are where we are. So it's learning for all of us. It's learning for his family, his wife. This can happen to us. And he probably wasn't coping and got deeper and deeper and deeper into, his battery discharging and weaker. Knowing all the time, I don't know what happened in that war, but can you see what happens? And then people come in with this disorder, the dis-ease. But very grateful to tell you all that we've now got him right on normal levels. In fact, nearly all these levels I've spoken about that were below 50 or over 85. He comes in, he walks in, he speaks to me. I say, hello, how are you? And he says, I'm fine, thanks, how are you? He wants to drive home now. He can't, but he wants to. He looks absolutely beautiful. He soaks his feet in the oxygen drops every day. He takes the oral drops. He never refuses it. He eats properly. And we are making a medical breakthrough here. He would be probably in a mental home on probably 5 medications for the brain by now. Completely shut down, never to come back again. So his wife can at least have a conversation with her, and he'll say things, and the memory's coming back. And we've got patient that's also been about 10 weeks, and we're just continuing. And I'm just so blessed that we have the epics and the gear, that we have the nutrients, that I have the ability to do the HIELO program, and the knowledge of all the ancestors that have come before me, the wise people that have come before me and left the trail. And all I'm really doing is resurfacing what was already there. My framework is not new. This knowledge is not new. Remember, I asked for it, because what I was put in front of me, that paradigm, reductive, exclusive, ego-driven, quick fix, was not my paradigm. It was discord. So that's an absolutely wonderful example. He takes the replica RNA, we're doing the genetic repair, we build stress adaptogens, we're building the adrenals, the brain fuel we're working on, and the consciousness is coming back, and so is his memory. So very, very fantastic. Glaucoma, they walk in, we have to lead them in, we work on the quantum, we work with the products. The one man left his glasses behind the last time he came because he forgot, he could see. It was so beautiful. He was sitting one day in my offices, and glaucoma you can't really see on the side, and you can't see, Jane, the frame of the window is coming into it's clarifying, I can see it, it's coming into my vision. As he was sitting there, the window frame appeared. So again, he surrendered, and he went into the field, and he allowed the healing. So very, very, very amazing. And the stories, I could keep you awake for a long, long time. The live blood analysis on a physical level, but remember, it's also representing your emotions. That is just, it's a no-brainer almost, because when people see the state of their blood, the toxins in their blood, the thickness of their blood, the parasites in their blood, they just pale, because they realize they better do something quickly. And when they see it a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, and they see these beautiful red blood cells representing their consciousness, representing their health, their the stress having left, the nutrients having got absorbed. It's just really too beautiful, and it's a wonderful direct benchmark, because it's not abstract. It's there in your face. I just took the little prick of blood, I've put it in front of you, and look, the parasites are just about disappeared. The toxins are breaking down and disappearing. That's a no-brainer. The infrared sauna, I've got many case studies here. One lady in particular, she called me up and she said, Jane, I've read that the infrared sauna builds collagen. I said, okay, fine, come, let's put it to the test. And she's probably in about 25 infrared saunas now. Now, infrared sauna is the invisible. We've got a far and a near 14 micron. I've got 2 saunas like this now. And she's quite an evolved, advanced lady too. So we did the collagen readings and all the organ readings before. We did it, and we did, and she kept telling Jane, my skin, and also she had like a blocked ear. And I did tell her to use the oxygen drops with the glass on the ears to start cleaning up, and then the infrared. So I spoke to the other day, and we measured as well, and the collagen levels have come up. The organs are now functioning better, because that's what the infrared does. It clears the organs, it clears toxins, it clears the blood. And so that plays a very vital role in the HIELO process, because especially things like Lyme's disease, those severe parasites, because they can't run anywhere and they don't like the heat. So it really brings the count down very quickly. So that I would really advocate, and there's lots and lots of stories. The man with the skin that I told you about, we put him in the sauna too. I needed to cleanse that skin from inside out and help him push those, to expel the acidic crystals that were coming out through his skin. So he used that as well. The intravenous oxygen maximizer drip, well, I'm telling you now, you have to come here to experience it. The miracle, the life force that flows in people after a 3-hour drip is indescribable. Some of them we carry in, and they walk out after 3 hours. They come in with a blood pressure 95 over 65, and they walk out 110 over nearly 80 after 3 hours of oxygen drip. Now, that's not direct oxygen, it's water impregnated with the oxygen. Pure oxygen, we don't use any ozone. And that's every time. The tumor is sore. After 3 hours, it's already half the intensity, and after 5 hours, they can't feel it anymore. All right, but we carry on hitting it with oxygen and detoxifying. Those people that come after chemo, when they can't feel the nerves at the end of their fingers and so on, within 24 hours they start feeling the end of their fingers, the sensation. They haven't felt it for months, for example. Do we treat people that are on allopathic medication and natural at the same time? No, we don't. Not chemo. If somebody's on medicine, we'll start here, and we'll build up the strength of the body to the point where they can then let go of the blood pressure or let go of the blood sugar. I've got hundreds of those case studies, taking people off insulin, 70-year-olds, in a matter of 7 weeks, and after they've been on it for 20 years. So we work with the body's ability to heal, and then what's not needed will fall off. But you make that decision, not me. You decide that's not serving you anymore, because you're seeing the results on a day-to-day basis. It's no use hammering the blood pressure if it's already normal. So, people start making conscious decisions. They don't ask me if heated oil is bad for you anymore. They know. You see. They don't ask me if they need to drink water in the day. They know. They don't ask me, must they put their feet on the ground anymore. They know. And that's that awakening that we bring into people. Acupuncture is lovely. especially for addictions, smoking, stress, because what it does is it puts you into a relaxed state. The parasympathetic nervous system takes over. That's the healing. And it changes the neurological pathways for you. Remember, actually, healing is non-verbal. Non-linear and non-verbal. And so I love the acupuncture. And it comes in many times also on the epic skier. It will go to electrical acupuncture many, many, many times. But we also do the needles, the ear, which is the whole body anyway. Lots of successes, lots of stories. With smoking, we offer a free one. We don't actually need to use it. And for stress, it's just amazing. I love it. I love the acupuncture. Just that no one too close enough to me to give me. So, in summary, your healing's yours. I'm a facilitator. I work in the natural, holistic well-being field. And for me, the universal field of wisdom, there's no doubt, there's no questioning there. It's the existential field as opposed to the mentally constructed experiential field of the world. That's where people say it's an illusion. It's not an illusion because the table's right here, but it's an illusion because of the mental constructs we set up. That life we live is illusionary. And you can also decide to get caught up in it or not. You don't have to watch the YouTubes. You don't have to partake in any of that. Why would you when you are in the field of wisdom, of knowledge? And why would you have to read up about what someone says about butter, or what somebody says about whether meat's good for you or not? I mean, why do you have to read it all? You just ask. You feel, you sense. I don't spend my time watching YouTubes on health. I'm not going to do that. One or two might catch my eye, I'll go in there and I'll see, but most of them are working in the two-dimensional, three-dimensional earthly realm. This one bottle is going to help you sleep. This one bottle is going to fix your heart. No, it doesn't work like that. So what I've really wanted to share with you today is we can heal. We know how to heal. I'm uncovering what we already knew. I'm simplifying it. I'm bringing it to you. And I want to commend every single person that's been here, not only here, in the world today, who's helped themselves. Those cancer people that survive have an epiphany in the darkest hours of the night. And they surrendered to that ex-husband that left them, or the wife that left them, or the mother that did whatever. And that surrendering opens the door, because you then are saying definitively, that is no longer serving me. The memory goes, and you open up into a field that's going to serve you by implication. So yes, it can go on and on and on and on. And the stories, it's such an honor to work with people like yourselves and to get the result, to be part of your healing and from a setup point of view. And to shift people from stuckness, stagnation into holistic well-being, freedom, happiness, joy. And that's what this is all about. So before I go, those people who are online and here, that reset kit, and this is basically the starting point on the physical level, the all-in-one reset kit, which you all know, okay, comprises of the 350 ml microbiome reset, the essential probiotics. It's brewed in the cloud that we live in, 80 to 120 live strains and substrains. It will reset your microbiome for you, reset your immunity. It's live, cleans and scavenges heavy metals, toxins, free radicals, builds vitamin B, vitamin K, builds serotonin, the happy hormone, what we're all looking for. Okay, that's in the reset kit. The flaxseed oil, the cold pressed flaxseed oil, it's raw. dynamic, is essential for the working of the body. We don't want to be the Tin Man, the Wizard of Oz. We want to have lubrication in our joints, in our body. We want the oxygen and the food to get absorbed through the mucous membranes into the blood and into the cells. We want omegas, and we want that electrical potential from the flaxseed oil. It's the oil with the highest life force. So let's put it in the box. The other oils have other properties, but for our purposes of detoxing and resetting, that's what we need. We've got the DMSO, which is the plant tree sap, dimethyl sulfoxide. And that in itself, on my website, I urge you put in the search bar, type in their DMSO, and just go and have a look at all the disorders and diseases that it fixes. And we called it the declutch shots. But between that, the flaxseed oil, the microbiome reset, and the cell oxygen that we have, the 2 little bottles that activate, we are able to clear modern day toxins that are in the air, the food, the water, of course, and we're not denying them. Let's get them out. Let's start removing the parasites too. They're there for a reason, but let's start. And as we let them go, as the body's able to remove them, the awareness increases and our consciousness raises. So that's the reset kit. Now that is on special now. It's the price is 960 Rand, which is an absolute bargain for these 4. So those of you who want to get on with this, let's do that. Those of you who need to top up, these are the 4 main things. Once we've done the detox, I always say to people, then we move in with the ormus, we move in with this activa stem cells, the replica RNA, DNA, the medicinal mushrooms, the lion's mane, the cordyceps, and so on, the pollens, the raw jellies, the propolis, the blue-green algae, chlorellas, and all the other wonderful nutrients and adaptogenic herbs, the minerals, the nutrients that we then are going to educate us further, shift our DNA in line, in sync with the earth shifting. So we're not left behind. We're working in sync with the you can even say universal shifts. And that's what these plants do. Okay, the medicinal mushrooms are not from this galaxy, by the way. The spores come down, the fruiting bodies and the roots go into the ground. They all talk amongst themselves, they adapt. The fruiting body then lets the spores go all the way up again and take that consciousness somewhere else as well. So we've been fed with consciousness all over the place. The zeolite, for example, will also, one of the properties, will connect you with cosmic forces as well. Paramagnetic rock. When you walk through on a sacred site and the compass on your cell phone loses north and south, that's when you're then connecting with cosmic magnetic fields. Just to say, so whatever I'm speaking about is totally grounded, and volcanic rock dust, zeolite, is paramagnetic rock that's just powdered from the lava. So there's a lot of products there that we then bring in. Some I bring in sooner as well, charge the adrenals, etc. with the lifestyle. People are saying to me, well, what about this? What about that? What about MCT oil? I said to them, but what you do is you go into yourself and you ask, is this the natural state? Is that Valium the natural state? No, the valerian plant is the natural state. Go and get that. Same with the oil. What's the natural state? Pure, unprocessed, unheated coconut oil. That will give you the pregnenolone. It will give you the caprylic acid. It will clear the bacteria and the funguses and so on. And working in a 4-dimensional, multi-dimensional realm. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, and neurologically. So I want to just share that with you, and that's where we focus, that's where we're going. I don't know if you've got any questions that you want to ask. But that's where I would like to end today. It's been an hour online, and I'm going to record all of this and share it with you. So get this kit now. It's for all of you who've registered. It's live. It's on the 365 Healthy by Choice sale. Scan down there if you want the reset kit and get it. And I'm also going to be giving away 2 holistic integrated epigenetic life orientation live epic skio sessions. So I'm going to go through and see all the people that came and the people that registered, and we will draw our 2 names and present the winners tomorrow or Sunday, as soon as we've done all of that. So it's been an honor presenting to you. It's been amazing having you here. I see all of you sitting here, and let me see, and just amazing people from all corners of the earth. So I hope I've made sense. There's another, I mean, the stories just go on and on. I'll have to do a part 2, okay, because I've remembered more and more. But anyway, there's one that I do want to just end off by reading to you, and I'm going to share this. No, I'm going to just read it to you. Oh, flip it! What did I do? Oh, we're there. Let me just go here. Oh, I've just lost the WhatsApp. Hold on a second. It's reloading quickly, and then I can read it to you. That's a bit of a pity. Okay, here we go. And this one was sent to me to specifically read, and it just brings in another. I'm just waiting for the WhatsApp to load. Sorry, brings in another dimension of just gratitude, really. And it's coming. Hold on a sec. Sure, don't know why it's taking so long, sorry. But what I think I'll do is I will just take my phone out. It's been busy recording us, and I'll keep it recording, I think, and just get it for us. So there's something wrong with the WhatsApp. Never mind, I'm going to read to you